Remember this little doohickey?
Oh yeah.
Put that back in there. And if you do take the spring seat washer out, remember to put the spring washer back in. If you don't, the engagement is going to go down about 500 RPM, thereabouts.
So I always go to that.
And you're going to wonder what the heck's going on. But it's because this thing's probably sitting on the edge somewhere. So make sure when you put it in that you put it in correctly so that spring sits on the seat. Now we're going to start to change the flutter. Oops, what's that?
I hope we don't need that.
Well, it's not mine, so you can. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can keep going because I can edit that out. All right, so did the same. When we go to take the cotter pins off, we just snap them right off, and we can use pliers to turn the cotter pin to get a better bite. On the pin. And watch your eyes. There. One. So we've already. Oh, look at that. This little sucker. Watch your eyes. Get a clutch kit. Set up the calibration here says 21.9 grams. So the pin kit that we have, is a 14.5 to 20.5 gram pin kit. However, we have these tungsten rods to put in the pins to get up to 23 grams. Give her a little bend. Actually, what we'll do. Okay. Always have the long side of the cotter pin pointed down around the bottom of the lever like this. So, long side pointed down. We have some sleds moving around in the background. Those guys are changing some shocks in the suspension. Okay, I'm gonna find a hammer. This side here, you especially want to have the curve going around, or it curved around the lever, and the reason why is to prevent the pin from walking around like that. So now it's going to be fine, nothing's going to touch. Oh, the calibration sheet says 21.9 grams in clicker 3 for 80% of your riding in snow. Alright, well if we look at the tungsten rod sheet here, we have the 14.5 gram empty pin, the 6 gram tungsten rod, the 1.4 gram set screw. So, which set screw is that? Here we have the Dalton Pro Midweight Premium Kit. And we look here, 1.4 grams, so that's the 3/8 long set screw. So, to easily see which one, that's the 1/2 inch. No, we want probably that one right there. 1, 2, 3/8. Right on. Don't lose these rods. Do not lose them. Oh, they're hard to make and they're expensive, and just don't don't lose them. So we'll just set all three up. Another 3/8, 1.4 gram. I think I mentioned before, this portion of the calibration is for a driver who is about 180 to 230 pounds. And if you are more than that, actually it's just good to start off with this pin weight, even if you're heavier or lighter, so that when you go test at full throttle, let the tachometer tell you what amount of grams you have to put in, if you have to put in any at all. So flyweight determines RPMs, right? And 1/2 gram is equal to 100 RPM. What are you guys doing?
Putting the slide back in.
Why?
Apparently it requires it.
It's the biggest one.
Best book ever, the shop manual. Look how thick that sucker is. There's every subject in there you can think of for the sled. It's 800 pages and worth its weight in gold if you want to know more about your sled. I torque everything I can. That's
I love it, Joey. Jingle like that.
I always forget my words there, Ricky.
for doing maintenance or changing parts out in your snowmobile. It's good to have at least the race handbook, because most of the torque values for the fasteners are in there pretty much for the whole sled. Come on over here and have a look at the... Oh, here we got the torque specs. So, the fasteners for the primary clutch spring cover, 18 foot-pounds. A lot of people ask me, Joe, do you put Loctite on the fasteners, on the set screws? Yes, I do, after I'm done calibrating. First, I will go out and test the sled full throttle for me or you, and will the RPMs be at 7,900? Yes or no? Well, only your testing at full throttle is going to tell you this. Once you are done calibrating, you might not have to calibrate at all, but if you do, once you're done calibrating, then yes, I would put blue Loctite. Just a simple dab will do, and then you can screw the fastener in, and your flyweight's pretty much good. It should not come out at all. Right now, we're not going to use Loctite. That's just my policy. A lot of people, they use Loctite right off the bat. They think it's safer, it's better for them. Well, that's fine for you. Me, I just take clutches apart so darn much that the flyweight never really stays in there long. So all I do is just snug it up, so you kind of have a feeling in your stomach that yes, this screw is not going to come out. It doesn't have to be really tight, because you just want to push the rod. You just want to push that rod against the cotter pin, and now it's not going to move. That's pretty good.
I don't know once we get it there, we're good.
There we go. And now we're going to apply the 160 350, the Dalton Violet Black Stripe primary clutch spring. This is going to give us about 3,800 engagement. Our primary clutch, you can see here, has the arrow on the spring cover. So I just marked it for illustration on the side here. The spring cover has to be matched to the little divot or notch on the sliding sheath. So this mark here, these two marks have to line up, spring cover to sliding sheave assembly, and then the governor cup actually lines up in a different spot. So we'll compress this down. Right on. And
Hey, sorry. You're powerful down yourself.
Nathan.
Loctite.
So Loctite the fasteners, yes.
Beautiful.
It's mother-daughter bonding time on Bob's Burgers. Then at night on Family Guy, Chris heads to space camp. At 9:30, the family tries to give up their bad habits on American Dad. And at 10, on an all-new Good Wife, an old foe returns to complicate Eli's life. It's all starting at 8.
I can't remember the torque, but we'll look it up. The torque on the primary spring cover bolts are 18 foot-pounds. Oop, there goes one. Yeah, that was it. Good. Yeah. Right on.
These fucking donkey doesn't even know what fucking track what it is. Stock tracking system. Like, yeah, dickhead, what is?
Remove the primary clutch from, or the sliding sheath from this, and then assemble the governor cup to the sliding sheath. So now we have the clutch spring cover assembled and torqued down. And you remember the little bushing inside? Right? I don't know if you could see it. Anyway, there it is. It's inside. Now, this spring seat washer has the ability to move around a bit. So it can make it a little bit tough to put on the sheave. If I can see right now that's a little bit off, I can just use the handle and give it a tap. A little bit more center. Or use a handle with a screwdriver and see if it'll go on. Oh, look at that. Right on. So now we have, the reason we did this right now is to get that spring seat washer aligned. Oh, that's the little spacer. So we put that to get the spring seat washer aligned. So now when we have the governor cup, the sliding sheave assembly, we can just plop it on and we're good to go. So we will set that aside now. Now we're going to change the ramps. Okay. Ah, doesn't matter. You know what? Just don't lose the O-rings. So now we got our custom mountain ramp we're going to install. These ramps push a lot harder than the original 413 ramps. These particular ones are pre-pinned already. And we'll get the clutch ready to take out the ramps. And these are a 10mm socket, and I like to use the grunt tool to hold the clutch to be able to take these apart. I think I'm going to get an extension. There we go. Way better. These fasteners are hard to take off right to the end because I guess the thread pitch in them, and they're hard to start because of the head of the fastener is serrated. As far as I know, you don't need Loctite on these because of the serrated head on the fastener.